Hi, I'm Jen.
And I'm Daryl. Planted in Paradise presents permaculture. Today, we're at the back of the property where we have a swamp. And on the other parts of the property, we knew this in advance, is a gravel pit. So today, we're going to take soil samples to see how we can amend the soil, if there is any. Eventually, we would like to have animals like
Goats and pigs, sheep, maybe cows.
definitely chickens, because, well, everybody's crazy for chickens. But come along, join us and see our soil samples and how we do it, so you can determine if the soil is crappy and how much we need to amend it.
Sounds good. Let's go.
Let's go. So let's do our first sample. Normally we take 6 inches. Most people like to do 12 to 24. But because of this, there's a lot of stones, I'm only going to try 6 inches. If you look over here, you can tell that these plants are high nitrogen. Spindly plants, like berry plants, like nitrogen, so they suck it up out of the ground and they grow tall. The trees that are there are probably 10 to 15 years, so when we bring the animals and put them in the forest, that'll hopefully bring back that forest to a better condition. But right now we're working on this sample. What we'll do eventually is bring compost, animal manure, and bring the soil up to where it should be. So let me fill up this jar, we'll take it back, fill it full of water, and we'll know exactly what's in this soil. You only need a couple cups of it to give you an idea. I'm guessing by the color of it, it's acidic soil, as we call it. So we'll take this sample back. We know right now that this comes from this because we can tell by the soil. Over there we'll have to mark it because there'll be a little confusion, but you'll see. Come on, join me for the other 2 jars. Hey, you can tell there's a lot of sand in this, but there's a root system in here, so the soil is, or the plants are trying to amend the soil and make it back if there is any or much in here. See, this is our neighbor's property, and it's for sale right now. If you want to buy a quarry and amend it like us, come and join us along, but for now, it's for sale. It gives us a good opportunity to see if they don't do anything, what happens there versus this side, where the amending of soil, you'll see an improvement within 2 years. But right now, we'll close this up and go grab another 2 jars, and you'll see as we get there, it gets worse and worse. Number 3, soil sample. Here, when we first bought the property, it had at least a 20-foot wood chip pile, and they were selling it around the town to make up for gardening and stuff like that. You see way over there, there's a little bit of a green spot. They actually had a compost pile there, and you can see the benefits of it because it's already green. Like it's already started to grab something, but there won't be enough there for the plants to grow anything else but grasses or high nitrogen plants. Things that need to grow fast. And we'll do compost also and bring it back, because you can see here, if you look where Bear is, if you can find her, you can see we're a lot lower, so we have to bring this back to at least 4 feet high to bring it back to a ground level where it will actually drain properly. But for now, let's do the soil sample and work on that. That's another day's project. It's almost like cement here. Hard to believe that there was ever a wood chip pile here. The joys of a quarry. This is how much damage if you don't have a quarry system that brings back anything. The land just sits here and dies, or slowly. It'll take 50 to 100 years, maybe even to get something here on its own. But we're going to help it. So hopefully in 5 years, there'll be a difference. There you can definitely tell. I can walk that one up. It's almost the consistency of cement. So it'll be interesting to see what this sample brings. This last hole, these spots here, must have had compost on it, but it's got some life on it, not much. As I said, the samples will be the tell true of what the soil offers. I believe at least we're behind at least 150 years of nature, bringing it back to nature on its own. So we're hoping to do it within 5 years, with help from our communities, from our local people that even trim their trees to bring leaves and stuff. We'll gladly take those things. So when I finish this, we'll wrap up, and I'd like to say please like and subscribe now before I forget. So let's dig this hole and get the hell out of here. Get out of here. Okay, number 4. Just like the other, a lot of sand and rocks and tiny stuff. So we'll fill them full of water, and well, I'll tell you that when we get in the house. This sample is so thick it doesn't even want to let the water go through it. Now that I've finished doing the water in the jars, you can see there's number 1. You can see the light coating. Number 2, still very dark. Number 3 ain't doing so well. Number 4, probably a little bit of soil, but mostly gravel. We'll give this 24 hours and we'll see what it does.
It's been a week since we did our soil samples, and they've been settling the whole time. It's actually taken quite a while for them to clear up, but we're going to show you what those samples look like. So here's the first jar. This one was taken way back at the back of the quarry. So you can see in all of this there's a lot of silt and sand. It gets finer as you go up. And the water is quite cloudy, but there's no debris or anything floating in here. Pretty much devoid of life. This one was a little bit closer to our house, about a quarter of the way through the quarry. And again, you can see a heavy layer of sand, but then it does get a little bit finer up at the top, some more silty stuff, and you do see a little bit of debris in here. So this is mostly a sandy soil with a little bit of organic matter, but not very much. Here again, this one's fairly clear at the top, but you can see the layers. It has all the sandy, tiny little bits of gravel in there, and some silt. It looks like maybe a little bit of chalk or something. Again, not much in the way of organic matter, but there's a little bit on the top of this one. And then our last jar is very rocky and a weird gray kind of color in the water, with again no plant life or organic matter at all. So none of those are going to give us anything rich. So we really need to get the soil healthy, and you'll have to watch how we do it.
So here we are in a operating quarry, and what they do is they come in with scraps of road and asphalt and stuff, and they just dump it in here. I don't know how ecologically friendly that is, but for us, we're going to try to change the way to fill things in, we're not going to use crap like this. We're actually going to use what nature gives us. So hopefully with the community behind us eventually, right now we're just in the process of doing, not getting our hands dirty, but we don't want this in our quarry, and we know that we can put a little bit of a stop and try to regenerate it and bring it back to people that actually have a garden on top rather than worrying about what's underneath.